We are going to start with introduction to Power BI. We are going to start with the introduction to Power BI, and I believe everybody can see my screen. Can you all see my screen? Can you all see my screen? Okay. Now, Power BI stands for Power Business Intelligence. So it's being used basically, a lot of people use it basically for visualization, but you can do more than just a visualization. We can use it for not just only visualization, we can use it for stats, we can use it for data modeling too. And there is also Power Query in it that is used for data cleaning. So we can do all those one in Power BI also. So let's move forward. Now, what exactly is Power BI? So, Power BI is a business analytics tool developed by Microsoft. It provides interactive visualization and business intelligence capability with an interface that's user-friendly and accessible to both technical and non-technical users. So, Power BI allows you to connect to a wide range of data sources, including databases, cloud service, spreadsheets, and more, transform the data into interactive reports and dashboards. Now, what we use Power BI to do is basically we use it for visualization, and there is also Power Query in it that we use for data cleaning. So there is Power Query in Excel, and there is also Power Query in Power BI. So tomorrow we should start working with Power BI, but I'm not sure we are going to have class tomorrow because I will give you a project. We are going to work on that your project before we continue, before we actually move forward with Power BI. So because we are not giving any project in Excel, which is not supposed to be. So I don't know why Mr. Ike does not give you any projects. So I'm going to give you a project. You're supposed to have a project that you have to submit on Friday before our class today. So I'm going to use the opportunity to give you that project today. Then by next week, we will start Power Query properly. So, but Power BI is basically used for visualization, and it's very, very easy. The interface is kind of very, very simple. It's not as complex as Excel. So, and it's one of the most easiest software that you can use. So we are going to play around with it in a moment. No, not in a moment, rather. Not in a moment. We are going to play around with it very soon. But we are going to start with Power Query. Then after Power Query, we move to data modeling, which is inside Power BI. And after data modeling, we move to DAX. And we round up with visualization. So let's move forward now. Let's move forward. Now, business intelligence. There are a lot of business intelligence. If you remember, I said Power BI stands for Power Business Intelligence. And there are a lot of business intelligence tools that we use. So what exactly is business intelligence? Business intelligence is a technology-driven process for analyzing data and delivering actionable information that helps executives, managers, and workers make informed business decisions. So it helps other people to make informed business decisions because, like I used to say, data is the life of every business. So without data, there's no way a business can be able to make any informed decision. So Power BI coming to help us. If we are not using, if you are using Excel for visualization, it's still cool. You can use Excel for your visualization, but it makes more sense in Power BI than in Excel, and it becomes more easier in Power BI than Excel. So let's see the top 10 business intelligence software that we use. So you can work with Tableau, right? You can work with Power BI. You can work with ClickView. You can work with Domo. You can work with SciSense. But all these ones, it's not everybody that works with it. But the two that people work, they are these three rather. They have Tableau, Power BI, and ClickView. So these three are one of the most, they are like the top in the industry of business intelligence. Then you have MicroStrategy, IBM. So IBM is known for creating a whole lot of stuff for statistical analysis. Example, they create SPSS software, right, for statistical analysis. So IBM is one of the people that actually deals majorly with statistical analysis. So you have Google Data Studio and Yellowfin, and many other more business intelligence software that we use. So for Power BI, so we have different versions, which include the Power BI desktop window, right? We have the Power BI desktop window, which is what we are going to use. Example, let me show you that on my desktop. So this one that we see here that says Power BI desktop. So this is an example of Power BI desktop software that we use. And if you open it up, you are going to see this interface. It's very simple. Once we start working with it, you will know that it's very simple. So you are going to see this interface. So this is just the interface of Power BI. This is how Power BI desktop looks like. Then from Power BI desktop, we use Power BI desktop for creating reports, writing our DAX, creating our modeling. So that is what we use Power BI reports, Power BI desktop to do. Then we have Power BI service. So Power BI service is a subscription-based service, right? It's a subscription-based service for sharing and collaborating on reports. So if you have a report that you have a team of people that you want to share with, right, you can share it with Power BI service. So you can use Power BI service to share your report with other people. And you also have Power BI mobile. So Power BI mobile is basically used for phones. So you can use the Power BI mobile for phones, right? So you can use that. So for Power BI desktop, I'm trying to explain it here, but I believe everybody understands what Power BI desktop means now. Are we still here? Are we all together? We are just 10 in today's class. Are we all together? Is it only Modusela that is here? Okay. So which means 3 people we have 3 people for, okay, 4 people that are here with me. Oh, 4 people, right? Okay. Now, Microsoft Power BI Desktop is built for analysts. It is the combined state-of-the-art of interactive visualization. So we basically use Power BI Desktop to build visualization, but there is a library inside it called DAX, Data Analysis Expression, in which we are going to write some DAX function, right? So we use that with industry-leading data query and modeling. So we deal majorly with a whole lot of other things in Power BI. So let's move forward. Now, the most common use for Power BI are, so we use Power BI to connect data from our source. So like now, this is my Power BI desktop. Now I can get data from different sources. Do you see this place that says get data? So if it is Excel workbook, Power BI semantic, data flow, data vars, SQL, right? Analysis service, text or CSV, web, OD data, blank query. So use all this one for your Power BI. And if I click on more, I'll still see more places. So these are all the places that I can get. You can see that it's very much, right? Excel, text CSV, right? XML, JSON, we have folder, PDF, we have SQL Server, which is database, right? So if you are on file, you have all these ones on file. On database, you have SQL Server database, Microsoft Access database, SQL analysis database, Oracle database, IBM, and all this one, MySQL database. So you have a whole lot of database where you can connect from. So we also have Microsoft Fabric, which is Power BI semantic model, data flow, data mart, warehouse, lakehouse, KQL database. So you have a whole lot. We also have Power Platform, which contains Power BI data flow, right? Common data legacy and data bars and data flows. So we are into cloud computing. So you have Azure here. So you want to get your data from the cloud, you have Azure, right? You have Azure SQL database, Azure Synapses, Analytics, and Azure. We have a whole lot of places where you can download your data from. You have online, SharePoint, Exchange, Dynamics 365. You have a whole lot of places where you can download, and you still have others, right? If you want Microsoft Teams also, it's right here. But majorly, most of the time, where your data will be coming from will be either Excel or CSV. So it can be Excel or CSV or in a folder. Most of the time, these are the three places where your data will be coming from. Sometimes your data might also come from the PDF. So let's continue. Let's continue. Apart from that, we use Power BI to transform and clean data to create data model. So we use Power BI to transform and clean data to create data model. So I'm still going to explain more on data modeling, but for now, we use Power BI to create data model. We use it to transform. If I talk about transform, it's talking of moving the data from the source directly to where you are going to clean it. So we do data cleaning with Power Query. And there is Power Query also in Excel. In our next class, I'm going to show you how to work with Power Query, both in Excel and in Power BI. So there's Power Query in Excel, and there's also Power Query in Power BI. So they are still the same thing. Then we use Power BI to create visuals, such as charts, graphs. So it provides visual representation of the data, right? So we use it to present our data in a visual way, right? To represent it in a visual way. Then you also use it to create reports that are collection of visuals on one or more report pages rather. So like you see right here in Power BI, you can see you have a page right here. You can open another page, just like in Excel that you open multiple sheets. You can open another page. All you just have to do is click on plus, and it's going to open another page for you. And you know the funniest thing in Power BI is that you can actually use button. So there's a way that we use button to link each pages together. You get? So we use button to link each pages together. So you can use button to link all the pages together. So that is that. You can share reports by using Power BI service. So you can publish your reports to Power BI service. Now, you have three types of view in Power BI. Three types of view. So the very first view is your report view. So your report view is where you build your reports, right? That is where you build your visuals. So that is the very first page. That is the very first window you are going to see. If you see, I have a report view. So this is the place that I build the visuals. I build the reports right here, the visuals, all the charts and everything. This is the place that I build it, right? You also have the table view. The table view. This is where you display all your data, every data that you load in. So if I load any data in here now, this is where it's going to display. It's going to display right in this table view or data view. So it's going to display right here. And the last one is the model view. So this is where you build your modeling. So when they are talking about data modeling, this is where they build the modeling. So is the third view in Power BI. Is the third view in Power BI. So those are the three views that we have. So you can see report view, data view, you see the tables, measures. So I'm still going to explain more about measures and calculated column with table. I'm still going to explain more on that. So that is where you build measures and other data used in your data model associated with your report and transformation for best use in the report model. And the last one is the model view. So I've explained that earlier. So that is where you manage your relationship. So that's where you manage your model. I'm still going to talk more about model in once we get to data modeling. So that is where you build your model. Now, the key features to note in Power BI include the very first thing is the data preparation. Power BI enables you to extract data from the source, transform data, and load it for various sources. So it enables you to extract the data from the source, right? Transform the data, that is clean up the data, and load your data for visualization. So we call it ETL. And what we use as our ETL software is the Power Query. So we use Power Query for our data cleaning. Apart from that, Power BI also offers visualization. So you have multiple visualization right in your Power BI. So as you can see, you have a pane that shows only your visuals. You have pane that shows only your visuals. So as you can see, all these are the visuals that you can use, and you can even get more visuals. So you can import, if you have visuals in your let's say you have a software or visual that you have in your file, you can load it in. You can get more visual from the online. So it's going to ask you to sign up for the Power BI desktop for the Power BI service. And you remember I said the Power BI service is paid, so it's not free. It's paid for you to be able to share your data. Apart from that, you have collaboration and sharing of data. So this is where we use our Power BI service, right? So Power BI service, that is where we use it for collaboration and sharing of data. So we use it to share our data so that our colleagues can collaborate with the data. Are we on the same page? Okay. Now that we all know we are on the same page, so we are okay. Sorry for that break. So let's continue. So apart from collaboration, we have something called natural language query. So Power BI supports natural language query, allow users to ask questions about their data using everyday language, which is English language. So this feature is known as Q&A. So we have question and answer section that you can do in Power BI. So there is question and answer in Power BI. There's question and answer in Power BI. So we are going to talk about that when we start working with our visualization, how you can make use of a question and answer, right? So we have that also in Power BI, and it enables you to refresh your data and scheduled updates. So you can refresh your data. So let's say you load your data from a folder. So what you can do, the moment you add extra new data, all you just have to do is you can refresh right here. You can refresh your data right here. You can refresh your data right here. Apart from refreshing of data, so you can integrate with other tools, like that is when I talk about how to import data. So you can integrate with various other tools, right? Like Excel, Azure, SQL Server, and many other things. So you can integrate with all those ones. So how to connect data. So we are going to do this in our next class. So if you want to, you can import data from the file. So I think I've shown you all this one. So if you are importing data from file, you have Excel workbook, CSV file, text file. Those are the type of data you can import in. So if it is the database, I've shown you also, you can import from database like SQL Server, Azure, MySQL, Oracle, and many other more. You can also connect to online services. You can connect to Azure for people that are working with cloud computing, right? Power Platform. You can use web, right? JSON file and other things, and other software also that you can interact with. So that is that about the introduction. So let's talk about how to, okay, let me take one or two questions now before I move forward to how you can download my the Power BI. How you can download the Power BI. So if you have question now, raise your hand, so that I can take your question before moving to how to download Power BI. Okay. So since nobody is raising hand, I will just assume that there is no question, that we are all on the same page, because we've not done any practical today. So to install Power BI is kind of very easy and simple. So all you just have to do is go to Chrome. So go to your Chrome browser. Just going to open by Chrome browser. So once you have your Chrome, okay, Mr. John, please unmute. I think your network is just going on and off today. You can unmute. Hello?
Yeah, Mr. Kim, good evening. Don't know
Good
if you
evening.
can hear me. Can
Yeah,
you?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hello?
Oh, beautiful, thank you. All right. I wanted to ask Power BI and Tableau. Yeah. Between Power BI and Tableau, which is which is the more industrial use? Which one is more used in the industry in
Okay,
terms of visualization?
okay. I can't really answer that. It depends on the organization you are working with, because they use it interchangeably. So you can use, some organization use Power BI while some use Tableau, because they perform the same thing and they are even similar. You get, they are similar. So I won't say people choose Power BI over Tableau, or some people choose Tableau over Power BI. So it depends on the organization. And if you are working in an organization and you know Power BI, you will definitely get a job. And if you also know Tableau, also you will get a job. So don't think they really consider whether you know Power BI or Tableau. You get? So I can't really say, because right now in our last batch that just finished last week, I have a student that got 2 jobs just because she learned Power BI. She got 2 jobs alone just because she knows Power BI. So I won't say people choose this Power BI over Tableau, or people choose this Tableau over Power BI. So it depends on the organization you are working with. Depends on the organization you are working with. And if you have a knowledge in Power BI, Tableau is not a problem. If you have a knowledge in Tableau, Power BI is not a problem. You can easily navigate your way around it. So a lot of people don't actually consider that. If you know Power BI, they will know that, okay, you should know how to manipulate your way in in Tableau also. So someone says, I think Power BI is commonly used. I won't say Power BI is commonly used. I won't say that. I won't say that, and I won't say Tableau is commonly used. It depends on the organization you're working with. So that's what I would say. That's what I would say. Okay, now to download Power BI, all you just have to do is come to this place and search for Power BI, Power BI desktop. Just search for Power BI desktop. So once you search for Power BI desktop, you search for Power BI desktop, you can go with the very first one, which is the Microsoft one, because Power BI is developed by Microsoft. So you just choose the first one. So Power BI desktop is free. It's free. So sometimes it's here. So you can scroll down. You can scroll down here where you have Power BI desktop. You can see I have Power BI desktop, I have Power BI mobile, and I have Power BI report. So, but the one I want to download, or the one I want you to download, is Power BI desktop. Power BI desktop. I think I should send this link, or let me open my notepad and copy the link for you so that I can send you the link. So let me just copy the link, then paste it right here so that I can send it to you for you to be able to access. So I will click on this Power BI desktop. Then all I just have to do right here is to bring me to this place. So you can see download free, right? So download free, and so you'll be able to see some things right here. Be able to see some things, how you can build your visuals, your KPI, so you can actually read it and watch some of those 15 seconds videos for you to have idea. But all you just have to do is click on download for free. So it's going to open Microsoft Store. So it's going to open this one, and it's going to open Microsoft Store. So if you open Microsoft Store, you can download it directly from this Microsoft Store, like right here. You can download it from this Microsoft Store. So you can just click on Get. So if you click on Get, you'll be able to download it. Me, I already have Power BI installed. That is one way. Another way, Another way is still to use this, to go to Google, and still search for Power BI desktop. There is another easier way, Power BI desktop. So there is another easier way to do it. So you can use this subtonic, and for me, let me see this one. See if this one is, yes, this is cool. So you can use this subtonic to download it. So if you just click on this button. So I'm coming. It's asking me to download another thing. Let's check it. So I have right here, it's open So I can click on, it's still taking me to PowerBI Microsoft Store, which is not what I want. So there's still one way to download it. I'm coming. So once I see that particular one, I'll send you the link. I'm coming. Let me check this one. There are a lot of ways to download PowerBI. A whole lot. Let me see. But the one that is very, very easy, that is the one that I'm looking for. Still not showing it for me. For me. Let's see this download for free. Still open Microsoft Store, which is not what I want. I don't know. But you can download it from that Microsoft Store. Coming. I'm coming. I'm looking. There's another website that is very, very easy to download it from. Very, very easy. So it doesn't have to take you to the what is it called? It doesn't have to take you to it's on Microsoft too. It doesn't have to take you to what is it called? The I don't know, the PowerBI, the Microsoft Store. I think they've cancelled it. Oh my god. Don't worry, I will send you this particular one, this link, and also I'll still check. So you can download it from the PowerBI store, the Microsoft store rather. The Microsoft store, that is, you can just click on this PowerBI download right here. So this will take you to Microsoft store. So it should take you to Microsoft store. Then all you just have to do is click on get from there. So that can download it for you. So you just click on get. You just click on this get. That will download it for you. So that is that about that. So once you have it download, for me, I already have the software download. I have the software downloaded. That is the software installer. So once you have the installer, so I think I have it in my software right here. So you have PowerBI desktop setup installer, right? This is it. So you just double click on it once you have the setup. So you just double click on it. It's going to roll, and I already have it installed. So it's telling me that I already have PowerBI installed. I already have the installation, so I'll just ignore it. So the installation cannot continue. So all you just have to be doing is clicking on next, and you should be able to install it. The installation is very, very simple. The installation is very, very simple. I will send you the link to download it tonight, so that you can, after you have the installer, you can just continue. All you just have to do is click on continue. Mr. John, you can unmute now. Mr. John, you can unmute. If you have question now, you can raise your hand. If you have question, you can raise your hand so that I will be able to attend to you.